Hey, this is Lynn and I wanted to do a video for you. This is a quilting piecing video. I know I haven't been piecing for a long time because I've been cleaning. I've been cleaning and reorganizing my room. I cleaned this room, it took me 3 weeks, and I also went through my long arm room, which took me a month. So it's been hard for me to sew because my machines and my stuff hasn't been where it should be. So I wanted to do this video. I don't know if you remember this quilt block I did a while back. I still have a whole bunch of those half square triangles. You see a pile of them. I did do 6 of those blocks. I'm still working on it. So what I recommend is you're going to need 6 dark fabrics, 6 light fabrics, and you're going to turn them into half square triangles. I'm not going to teach you how to do those half square triangles because I've already done it in the previous video. I will link it below. I'll try to do a card up here somewhere. So you're going to need 12 half square triangles and 4 squares of just a neutral color. This is it. These pieces need to be cut, I believe it's 8.5 by 8.5 to make this block, I believe. If not, I'll put something here if I'm wrong. And so you're just going to need 12 half square triangles and 4 other pieces and to make this beautiful block. And let me show you the block because it's huge. The reason I did this block is because I want to use up those half square triangles, and I thought this quilt block would just look beautiful. But this is a huge star block. And let me go back. One of the reasons why I made this huge star block is because I want to fill up the space, make a centerpiece, and then all these other blocks that I've been working on, like this one, and a couple of other ones. I kind of want to frame it around this star block in the center. I'm in the process of just getting the ideas together, so I just thought you guys would love piecing this quilt block. All you need is a layer cake to do these blocks. And the fabric on a layer cake, I believe, is a 10 by 10. I'm not going to show you how to make the half square triangles. I will link the other video below. But this is such an easy block to make. I did it last night around, I think, 1:30 in the morning. I don't have a wall for my pieces to do big pieces, so I work from the floor. I'm sure I'm not the only one that puts their pieces on the floor and designs on the floor instead of having a design wall. I worked on it in sections. I really do hope you like this quilting piecing tutorial. Yes, I got to sew, and I'll see you in the sewing, okay? I'll see you in a minute. So here's the block that we're going to piece. It has 12 half square triangles. Make sure your half square triangles have a light and a dark. And I also have 4 petites, like the little petites right there. I have 4 of them. And what I try to do is I try to add a green, blue, and a brown on each corner. And I try to do that kind of variation. So here's one. And then I put it in the opposite end, and then I also have these. So I try to use the sets. So here's a set, and then I moved the other set here, and then there's a set, and I moved it here to kind of give it a little bit more dimension and structure. So this is the block that we're going to build. It's going to be a beautiful star. What I'm going to do when I'm piecing, I feel like I'm going to piece this corner set and piece it all together. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and piece this little corner. Each kind of corner looks similar. And since I need to do it from the floor, I'm only going to show you me sewing this set right here on the table. So you can sew this corner however you want. You can sew in this direction and then sew these two together. It really doesn't matter. Or you can do top to bottom. It's just really preference. I like sewing from right to left or left to right, and just know that when you get to this corner, you are going to make sure that these seams kind of snug up on each other, and you are going to have to turn the seam over a little bit. I like pressing to the dark, and just make sure you turn it over and pin it so that you have a nice connection with these two pieces. And the way I check it is I snug it up and then I flip it down and just sew it and pin it here. Make sure you have a 4th right there, okay? And also too, on this bottom area, make sure you have a 4th. We're gonna go ahead and iron, and then we're gonna have this facing each other. Pin right here. I like pinning, and the reason is because I rather pin than rip. Went ahead and I sewed this all the way through. Hopefully it's in line. Yeah, not bad. My piece is ironed, and I want you to look at your block, your 4 pieces that you have together. I've done 1/4 of my block. Always be mindful of your 4th space here. You should have a 4th here, a 4th on the bottom, and a 4th. And the reason is you want to see those, because sometimes when I piece it, it's a little bit short, and that's what makes you lose your points. And so if you're mindful as you're putting each individual piece together of your 4ths in the block as you're in the process, there's less likely to make mistakes when you sew the whole thing together. Now that I have all the pieces sewn together, I'm going to go ahead and sew these 2 together and then these 2 together. And the great thing about it is because I've been checking all my 4s, I know that when I connect them, that I won't lose my points when I connect them. So when you're sewing these 2 pieces together, just make sure that you try to get your points. Now let me share this. I like leaving the tails, these tails. I cut them off on the other one, and these tails, for some reason, they just lock in really beautifully once I sew it. And I understand that it does create some bulk, but I cut the other ones off before I sewed the other half of this whole piece, and I ended up having alignment problems a lot more than when I lock these 2 pieces together and having those tails kind of give me a guide. After I'm done piecing the piece, like I said, I do cut all the bulk out, and this is going to be a little thicker area. Do not hit the seam line on each side. I don't know if you see that. I nip on each side, and the reason I do that is I can go ahead and shift the fabric in each direction and open the center seam so it's not too thick. So I'm going to go ahead and iron this. And now we're just going to have to sew that center seam together. So here's my 2 big pieces, and I'm just going to go ahead and pin everything. Remember I told you I like my little flaps. They really do help in aligning everything. This quilt block ends up being 37 by 37 square. I really do hope you like this tutorial, and I'll see you later, okay? I'm thinking of doing a room tour of this room and my long arm room. They look totally different. I changed it up to make everything more functional. If you want me to show a video of that, just let me know, and I'll do that for y'all. I have a couple really cool videos coming up, and I'm excited. I'll see you later. All right, bye. I'm also wanting to share with you what blocks I do have done. That was 6 blocks I have done. Okay, I'm gonna start, okay?
1, 2, 3.
Hey, this is Shut up!